we have got some more homemade recipes. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. We have got another episode of the Make It Homemade, Make It Semi-Homemade, whatever you want to call it. We've got another video for you today. I am making 3 really good recipes homemade, you guys. I am so excited. So we have got homemade cinnamon rolls. Now, as you see on the thumbnail, I put the Pillsbury cinnamon rolls as the thing, but this is not like a copycat video or anything. This is just a homemade version of cinnamon rolls, ones that you can get the frozen section, refrigerated section, whatever the case. And then we are gonna make my favorite, the crunch. Y'all know, like the Star Crunch. We're gonna make those homemade as well. And then we're gonna make some homemade potato chips. They are so good. Let's go ahead and get cooking. We are going to start out with my personal favorite first, the homemade Star Crunches. Y'all, these are so good. So all you're going to need is some marshmallows, some chocolate chips, some butter, some rice cereal. I'm using the organic. It was a little fluffier than like the traditional Rice Krispies, you know, that you can get like the cereal. But you can use either. They were really good with this one. Vanilla and, of course, your caramels. I couldn't find any of like the square soft caramels. I just got the little bites, but it worked just as good. I'll have the recipe that I'm following linked down below for you guys. This one is so easy, though. You literally just melt everything down, and then you add in your cereal and vanilla. So I've got my butter in there. I'm going to add in the caramel, the chocolate chips, and the marshmallows. And I have this on low heat, and I'm just going to slowly let everything melt together. It did take a little bit of time with the caramels being sticky, but just have patience, keep it low, and keep it moving. Once it's all melted, you're going to remove it from the heat, add in your vanilla, and add in your rice cereal, mix it together. You got to definitely have a good arm on you to do this because it was super sticky from the caramel and everything, but this was well worth it. And then you're just going to take and scoop them out. I didn't have any wax paper or parchment paper. I need to add that to my grocery list. But I just took some paper bags and opened them up and laid them out, and they worked just as good. Y'all, these were so good. I'm so glad I finally tried this recipe. I've had it saved for a while and I just never got around to it, which that's one of the things I've really been enjoying about doing this Make It Homemade series, is that I can, try these recipes and make them homemade and share them with you guys. This was definitely a 12 out of 10. I highly recommend. Next up, homemade potato chips. Y'all, this is literally the easiest thing ever. The hardest part is just going to be laying out the potatoes, honestly. Laying them out and letting them dry before you put them in the fryer. That's honestly going to be the hardest part of this. So here, I'm just kind of testing out to know how thin. I want them to be really close to the chips that you buy in the store. So I wanted to make sure I could get them as thin as possible. So here's my first cut, and then that's my second cut. And then you can see as I fold it how it's thinner, because it's more more pliable. So you want it as thin as possible. Now, I'm not using a glove. I'm not using a guard because I feel more comfortable holding the food as is on it. I do have this mandolin linked in the description box. It's in my Amazon storefront. But if you're comfortable or not comfortable using one of these, definitely use a glove and use a guard. That's just totally up to you. But I'm just going to take and slice up my potatoes. I did 2 potatoes for this, and then I've got a bowl of water over there that as I'm slicing them, I'm just putting them in that water. So here's what they look like. As you can see, the water is super dirty, so you just want to wash them until that water comes out clean. You want nice clean water. Give them a couple minutes in between, like each time, to let that starch come out. It's going to help get nice crispy chips, as well as what I'm doing here is I'm taking and laying them all out in thin layers and putting them on paper towels and letting them sit for about 30 minutes to help soak in that moisture. Really, you want your potatoes really good and dry to make nice crispy chips. So here they are. I just got them like in layers with paper towels in between. That way they can get nice and dry. While those are sitting, I'm going to go ahead and get my oil ready. I'm just using a pot, filled it up with oil, and heating it up to 400. Once that comes up to temp, you're going to go ahead and drop them in batches. You don't want to overcrowd it because they will be soggy. So just do it a little bit at a time. And then I just kind of move them around in there until they start getting a little brown in color. Once they are ready, I'm going to go ahead and pop them out onto a paper towel. That's going to help kind of soak up any of that extra oil, but make sure that you add your seasonings right after you put them down. Give it a shake, add the seasonings, that way the seasoning does stick to the potatoes. Here is the first batch. I'm going to go ahead and add on the seasoning. You can use whatever seasoning you want. You could even just do salt and pepper. You could do dry ranch. Just you play around with it. Do whatever flavored chips you want to. I chose to do barbecue, and y'all, these were so good. And as the chips came out, I just did them in layers, seasoned them, gave them a shake, and then added more to the oil. Just repeated the process until all of my chips were fried. Are they good?
Yeah.
Okay, so for my homemade cinnamon rolls, I use the same dough that I make my bread, garlic knots, all that thing, all my regular rolls. So I have already shared that, so I'll have that video linked down below as well as that recipe. So I've just got half of that recipe here. The other half have rising over there just to make a regular loaf of bread. But I'm just going to take and roll this out as big as I can get it, and then we will do a mixture of softened butter, brown sugar, and some cinnamon, and we'll just put over the whole thing, roll it up like cinnamon rolls, cut them, and then let them proof. Okay, we're moving to the counter. I already cleaned it. Put down a little bit of flour. Now it is going to kind of go back in a little bit, and that's just from the stretchiness of the dough. So just give it a little bit, be patient with it, don't overwork it. See how it's like going back in? Kind of do that, and then just let it rest a second. Let all the gluten rest, and then do it again. So I've got semi-melted softened butter. Got a cup of brown sugar. And then I don't really measure the cinnamon, just use your judgment, you know, however much or however little you want. And then we're just going to put that on the cinnamon rolls, or the dough. And remember, you can kind of like stretch the dough out too as you're rolling it, in case it goes back in again, but you just want to kind of get a decent sized rectangle. And then I'm just spreading this out all over it. And then we're just going to take and just pull and roll. Try to brush off that flour as you're rolling so it's not all on the inside. Okay, unflavored or scented, whatever the case is, floss works 10 times better for cutting cinnamon rolls. I don't have any. I'm just gonna use a knife. Just go, you know, easy. That way it doesn't, you know, press down. But I just kind of cut it in half, and then I just, you know, keep doing it. Okay, so here is what they look like, and now we're gonna do the same thing like with the dough. You gotta proof it one last time before it goes in the oven. So I'm just gonna put a towel over it. I gotta get another towel out for this one. But you just want them to double in size. It can take anywhere from 30 minutes to a little longer. Just depends. I just keep an eye on it till they double in size, and then you're gonna put them in a 375-degree oven till they're cooked through and delicious. Okay, we're gonna make the icing to go on the cinnamon rolls. Now, I prefer to make mine with heavy cream instead of milk, but you can definitely just use milk. I know that's more of like the traditional topping, icing recipe. I just love the creaminess from the heavy cream. So you're just gonna do heavy cream and powdered sugar. I'm just gonna mix it together in the bowl, and then we will pour it over our cinnamon rolls. And here they are, y'all. These were so good. Everybody loved them. I really need to make these more often. Here is what it looks like on the inside. So delicious. These would be perfect for Christmas morning. And that's it, guys. That wraps up today's video. I really hope you enjoyed these 3 super easy and delicious make it homemade recipes. Don't forget that I do have a whole playlist that I will have a link down below for you guys, sharing all kinds of recipes, homemade, pantry staples, freezer things, refrigerated things, all the things that you normally can buy in a store. I have been sharing with you guys how to make a homemade version. If you have anything that you want me to make, definitely let me know in the comments down below. But I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.